Jersey boys, welcome in. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast on an OG's Flavoring Fridays. Welcome in. Shout out to OG Brands, the official sponsor of Flavoring Fridays. It's not just your average cannabis-infused gummy. They absolutely, positively knock it out of the park. Check them out, ogbrands.com, including their newest gummies right now, the OG's Natural and the Big OG's. A big hello and welcome to a Football Friday. I'm Johnny Venerable. There's my underdressed co-host, Bo Brack, and then, of course, sweet baby Damon Dawg behind the mic today on PHNX Cardinals. We have a loaded show today, but we're going to start off by saying, let's just do a fit check real quick. We're going to go around the room. We're just going to do a fit check. Bo, you want to tell the folks on the audio side what you're wearing today?
Absolutely. I'm wearing my fresh Arizona Cardinals New Era hat, and I've got my PHNX merchandise locker Bird Gang tee. Feeling real nice today. I like my fit today. Johnny, he's repping the icy white K1.
Somebody says in the chat, is that your dad's jersey? No, it's mine. I bought it with my own money. K1 since day one. How dare you? My son and I were repping these Christmas morning, the icy K1s, one of my favorites. And I can't wait. We're all debating on bated breath, Damon. Icy white for MHJ or the all black could go pretty hard. What do you think?
I was thinking all black. I was DMing with Marv, our guy Marv, a little bit, and I was saying, I think I might wait out for that black one. Just that Darth Vader style look with the Marv.
Pretty nasty for those who celebrate jerseys, wear them on their backs. Love it. Also love Johnny's dirty, grimy PHNX hat as well. It's his lucky ball cap, right? It's his lucky ball cap. He's been wearing it since 1997, even though we weren't a company back then. But yeah. I see people in the chat already making it known that they are rocking their jerseys out there. Chris, my K1 jersey is black and too small. There you go. I like it. How about my guy Eric saying, hang in there, Bo. Adult males should not be rocking a jersey. We stand in solidarity, right?
It's Bo's burner. You preloaded that comment before the show.
James Wood sporting the old 81. Is it Anquan? Is it Quan? Or is it Frank Sanders? Either way, you're wearing a nice jersey. I like the fit. Emily wearing all black. Tommy all black. Or are they talking about the Marv jersey? You're going with the all black ones, the alternates?
I think that's the play. I think that's the play.
Couple early super chats. People are excited to get in here. We appreciate them. Let's take a look here. How about Cardi D? One of my favorite names in the chat each and every day. Hey, Bully Bo, I'm rocking the all black Color Rush K1 today. Good listening to you on Locked On today. Uh-oh. Am I going to get in trouble for going behind enemy lines? Like old times. Hashtag Bird Gang. Hashtag line held.
Wow, how dare you? I had no idea that happened today. And now I'm even more furious, Cardi D. We continue to expose Bully Brock on the show, Bully Bo. But
before the show, he goes, I don't want to be known as Bully Bo. And I said, maybe then you should be nicer and kinder to people on a daily basis around here.
Damon is the voice of reason. He's our conscience on this show. And
I said, I don't want to be Bully Bo. And then I threw my coffee in Damon's face and said, this is too hot. Richard, $1.99, rocking a honey badger today. Ooh. Also black Color Rush. That's nice. That's a nice throwback.
Yeah, the 32 honey badger one. Like I would argue during the peak Palmer years, like was that the most popular outside of Fitz? It felt like it. It felt like he and Larry Fitzgerald. Not even like David Johnson or Palmer. It was honey badger. Like that's a player that should not have ever been allowed to leave Arizona. But we digress.
Yeah, Mike Sabo, $9.99. I'm good if we can at least double up on wins. It will be bonuses to get to the playoffs. Absolutely.
I like the reservation. You know, expect minimal. You won't be disappointed. But I think we can have high hopes for a playoff berth this year. Topic 64. $1.99. Bo, where's your number 34 jersey? Well, some famous 34s historically. I don't know. Jalen Thompson's probably the best 34 I can remember.
Oh, yeah. And, if I were to be a jersey guy, I would definitely go with a player like Jalen Thompson, who is an unsung hero of this Arizona Cardinals team. Quietly just doing it right on and off the field. Love to see it. 34 absolutely would be one of my first options I would go to.
Can we talk real quick? Because we're going to predict the starting defense and offense for the Arizona Cardinals. We've got graphics ready to go. And we've got our opinion on what it's going to look like fast forward in just 3 months from now. Hell yes. However, I do want to start with Jersey Gate, with Marvin Harrison Jr. So Josh Weinfuss of ESPN put out an article just now emphasizing what Pat McAfee said about the fact that, okay, he signed the deal with Fanatics. He's trying to renegotiate. But then, Bo, you did a little investigative reporting today, which I appreciate. Bo doing his job today. Bo posted about 3 hours ago a photo of B.J. Ojulari working out at the facility. He's still repping 18. And then 81 is supposedly not available either. So can we cross those two numbers off the list, Bo Brock?
I don't think so. I mean, you got Travis Vokalek, who was in a late ad from the Ravens practice squad last year. He's a big 6'7" tight end. And the tight end room, as we know, got a little crowded. We've had some conversations about some tight ends that have made their way to this roster via the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And you've got 3 guys probably ahead of them on the depth chart. I think this is just up in the air. Like, when I see B.J. Ojulari wearing 18 at strength and conditioning, and you've got Vokalek and you got Dan Chiznia wearing, he's on the roster at 16, but he's wearing 19. I think 16 is going to go to Max Melton. That's my prediction, because we saw him wear that at Rutgers.
Yep.
So maybe he's already kind of struck a deal, and Chiznia's probably he's a fringe roster guy too, but I don't know. I still can't get away from 17 for sweet baby Marv.
Okay. Well, you think
but that's just me.
That's speculation. That's
the
not
dots,
sources.
right? Yeah.
I reached out to a source today and asked, and the response was, "This is a dumb question. I'm not going to answer this."
Yeah.
It's not dumb to me. It matters to me. Let me ask you this: do you feel like players are probably going up to like B.J. Ojulari? Like, do you think it's come up within the Cardinal brass practice and working out right now that you still got that 81, huh? Or you still got that 18? Like, do you think that's come up at all with his peers? Because if it means that much to him, he should be allowed to keep it, in my opinion. I've stayed committed to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's taking some black for it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if he's got, they're having, and it's a good locker room, right? And I'm sure that people are giving him a bunch of crap for it, and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, if it does, I'm with. I mean, if 18 means that much to B.J. Ojulari, then sure, hold on to it. And like what we've said for Marvin Harrison Jr. is here's a guy that went to Ohio State, and he could have very well worn 88. I don't know what the status of the number was while he was wearing the scarlet and gray, but he chose to wear his own number, didn't follow in the footsteps of his dad. So he clearly probably wants to carve out his own legacy. And when we talk about 88 or 11 or his own 18, I think that he could find a number. And we're looking at it right now. If it's just free numbers, like 17's available. And as far as like from 1 to the teens, that's basically it. Otherwise, but now receivers as of 2023 can wear numbers from 1 to 49 and then 80 to 89.
Well, Devontae Adams reps 17. Joshua in the chat saying 17's mid. I disagree. Plexico Burris, Braylon Edwards once upon a time, and we have higher hopes than that. A lot. It's a quarterback number historically. You know who wore it? Here's a good omen.
Okay.
I'm being serious. I'm probably dating myself and part of the audience. The best quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals in the 1970s, Jim Hart, wore 17. So I have the St. Louis Football Cardinals. So I don't think 17, Josh, is mid. I think that's a pretty good option. But that we're assuming that he doesn't want 88 and is trying to get that out of retirement to pay homage to his dad. And who knows? Like I saw a good argument today. It's like, well, he's not going to pay homage to his dad at the collegiate level. I don't know what number MHJ senior wore at Syracuse. Somebody have to look that up. But like, I'm going to pay homage to my dad in the NFL for his NFL playing career. That would be the time to rep 88 if you wanted to do that. But 17 doesn't bother me.
We're number 8
at Syracuse.
Yeah.
There you go. So it's like, and then Marvin wore 18. So maybe it's just, I'm just going to wait. And so 88, if I woke up to Twitter next week and I saw that they had gotten 88 out of retirement, we'd all be fired up. That would be awesome. That's probably best case scenario.
Or 8, right?
Well, you can't. Larry Wilson's like one of the 5 greatest Cardinals of all time. That respectfully, whomever has 88 retired, like Larry Wilson's probably on a lot of people's top 5 to 7 greatest Cardinals of all time. Who's number 88 is retired? And I'm
Night
disrespecting.
Train Lane.
It's somebody else. Arizona. Hang on, I'm looking it up. This is not good podcasting. It was. Let's see here. Hang on. This is not good podcasting. I'm sorry. Does anybody know in the chat who is number 8? JV Kane. It was retired for JV Kane. Well, I think he passed away during a practice in the late 1970s. This is from Jess Root, who wrote about it on Twitter.
Had a heart failure.
Yeah, could the son wear the father's number 88? That's a no, as the number is retired for JV Kane, who died 1979 during practice. So they may not want to touch that one, and I would understand that. But Larry Wilson would be a big ask, like as D Nice says. I doubt 8's coming out of retirement. Like Larry, for people who followed this team before they came to Arizona, Larry Wilson was the guy for this franchise historically. Yeah, so Devin saying 17 was Andy Isabella. Yeah, so there's nowhere to go but up, Travis.
Right? It was David Blau and it was Andy Isabella. It needs somebody to desperately upgrade that number, since Johnny mentioned back in the late 70s, early 80s.
79. So like I read that now. I didn't know that before the show. I just assumed, I don't know, because JV Kane's not a Hall of Famer, so it had to have been some special circumstance. I don't think they're going to touch that number now.
They'll find something. Like anything Marv's going to wear it's going to hit.
I mean, the rest of the rookie class doesn't have their numbers yet, but typically the first pick of your draft class has it first, and then certainly Marvin. Like the rest of that draft class, the top 10, those guys, it feels like mostly have their numbers by now. Caleb's got their number. You know, most of the other receivers have their numbers. So I don't know. I'm warming up to 17. Are you anti-single digit for Marvin?
No, I mean, I just don't see any available. I mean, when I'm looking at the Cardinals jersey right now, Pascal 0, Murray, Kyler's 1, Mac Wilson's 2, Buddha's 3, Dortch is 4, Prater's 5, James Conner's 6, Kazir White's 7, and then 9 is Desmond Ridder. I don't like seeing who could potentially move out of that. The only one I like is if it would be 2 potentially. But
yeah, I like 2 way more than I like 10.
Mac Wilson is pretty tied to it. I mean, he seems to put every social post he puts 2 in there.
Everybody loves their number. I mean, that's the end of the day. How many guys are like, yeah, I just don't like my number, and it's a good one. Like Dee puts in the chat, at what point does 11 re-enter the conversation, if at all? Would Marvin even want that?
Probably not.
Okay. I don't like 10,
by the way. Not a disrespectful thing. It's about wanting to carve out your own legacy there.
People are on the fence. 11's in, 11's out.
Like, wouldn't you think 11 is more off limits if Larry doesn't want to give it up than 8?
Well, but 11's not retired yet. I mean, they need to retire 11, but it's not retired yet. Nobody's worn it since Larry's retired, but I don't know. You know how I feel. I'm just making a thing where it's like the greatest receivers that come out of this franchise, like the Cowboys with 88, wear 11. But Larry is the best player of the franchise, whereas in Dallas, like the best players of that franchise are their quarterbacks historically, among other positions. So I don't like 10. I don't want him to. I mean, we just had D-Hop wear 10. So I mean, I don't like retiring numbers anyway, because then this is a problem.
Yeah,
this is an issue you run into. So
yeah,
we will keep our ears to the ground as much as you guys are waiting on bated breath. And then, like I say that tongue in cheek, but then I get like 5 DMs every day. What's the number going to be? What's happening with the jersey? And like we're just waiting. People are waiting to buy the jersey, which is a good problem to have. You would rather that than Quinyon Mitchell's number at pick 11, like we were talking about. Hey, Quinyon Mitchell's going to wear 35. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, PHNX Cardinals.
And they already had like what was the kid's name from Valdosta State that was on the roster for a year and change? Yeah. What was his name? He wore 35.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing? We're giving it to a 7th round corner.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of good mojo with Fitz and Marvin. Like Larry had a really good interview. I think it was with Cam Cox talking about Marvin. Marvin liked the tweet. Like I would not be surprised if they have hooked up at some point over the phone. I would say that's don't like dismiss that completely. I think people like prepare, and you know what? Larry would give his blessing 100%. Larry's about the team. Larry wants this team to win. The Cardinals did a lot of good for Larry, obviously vice versa. Larry did more for the Cardinals. So Marvin represents the kind of player that you would want to wear 11 to pay homage to Larry. So it bothers other people. It would not bother me.
Christian Matthew, Cardi D. Thank you. I think I was on the roster at this time last year.
Who was doing that? Who decided that?
I don't know. But you have 90 players on the roster at one point. It's like you can't get crazy. You gotta start, and that's tragic. That's the JV Kane story is absolute tragedy, no doubt about it. But
I don't think that's getting retired.
Unretired,
unless and this is money doesn't fix what happened, but unless maybe he could make a sizable donation to a charity of the family's choosing, or just to the family itself, like. You could broach it a little bit and say, hey, I want to honor my dad. I want to honor JV. Can I do that? And if they say we're not interested in that, then you move on. So
Beans and Frank saying give him 19. Who the F is Dan Shiznia?
19's grosser than 17, I feel like. 19 looks like those can of beans in your photo there. That's what 19 makes me think of. I got to sit on the toilet.
Who are some great 19s? I'm hard pressed to think of a great 19.
The great NFL players who wore 19. Joe Montana. I mean, it's all quarterbacks. Johnny Unitas, Joe Montana.
19.
Lance Allworth wore 19, but when none of us were born. Amari Cooper wears 19.
Okay.
Ted Ginn. How about this one? Juju wears 19. Keyshawn Johnson.
Okay.
Not great. Do you think when we fast forward, you're at rookie minicamp next Friday?
Yeah.
So first time we're going to get Marv. So mark it on your calendar. PHNX Cardinals definitive coverage of Marv's first practice next Friday here in the desert. Will he have a number then, or will he have a stock number, do you believe? Just a holdover number until his permanent one comes in?
It's a good question. I think we'll probably have the opportunity to talk to Marv.
They'll make him available, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they made Paris available after the first day of rookie minicamp last year.
Yeah.
I think that they'll absolutely make Marv available. And if he says, "Oh, this whole thing," don't buy this number just yet.
He might be running around in like 79 or something. Seriously, 77. Just to make it clear to everybody, this ain't it.
Right.
Please just be patient.
As he's snaring passes from whoever they bring in to throw during rookie minicamp.
We can't just bring Kyler
just
in.
Leaping, showing off a 42-inch vert with his 6'4" frame, one-handing balls, and then you look at his jersey number and he's wearing DJ Humphrey's old 76.
He just got it out of an equipment locker and just like, I'll throw this on, I guess. Marv, you got to wear a number. All right, give me a second. Do you feel like, okay, so we're hopeful, but nothing has to be finalized yet. A lot of people ask me on Twitter, like, does Marvin need to have a contract in place to, number one, have a number, and then number two, practice next week? And I said, no, you can do rookie minicamp before your deal's done.
Yeah, BJ Ojulari did, or at least he was out there. And he hadn't figured out anything before rookie minicamp. So Adonis MF saying his 10 out currently belongs on the roster to recently signed wide receiver Chris Moore.
The Hopkins number was 10. I know that means nothing to Marvin, but 2 would be good. I think 2 or 17.
I don't think you needed to put that guy in timeout. I think he was just. I was waxing poetic about what a Marvin Harrison Jr. practice was going to look like, but it's all right.
Let's get to some of these super chats here. Topic 64, $4.99. I read today that Arias gave up 81, Bo. Can you confirm this so that MHJ could have it? Arias will be 83. Care to comment on that, Bo? Topic 64.
Arias was 87. He's wearing 38 now. I mean, unless somebody's had some sort of conversation with Daniel Arias, maybe that's possible, but like 81, I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes on the back of Vokalek. He's number 81 on the Cardinals official roster. And then, so 83 right now is not spoken for. It's available. Greg Dortch's old digits. I don't think anybody would like to see Marv wearing number 83.
I don't think that's happening at all. Yeah. Thank you, Topic 64. Another super chat today. Your $4.99 18. Number 18 is the chosen leader at LSU by the team and the coaches. So it's a very important number.
Yeah. Same Baton Rouge.
Right. And it's all, I was just about to say, like this, he got to wear it at LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad timing for BJ.
Yeah.
When the most popular player of the last 2 drafts and the most popular player drafted by this team in 20 years has your number. You just, if it had, respectfully to BJ, who I think is going to have a nice year, had BJ lit the world on fire last year, I'd be like, he's good. Let him keep that. And I still think if they can work something out, BJ had 4 sacks last year. Marvin is the quintessential favorite to be this team's offensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year, to lead all rookie receivers. Like he's box office, and the team, it also helps the team. And maybe they have this conversation with Ojulari. They're like, hey, BJ, we like from a marketing standpoint, we really need Marv to have 18. Like 18 is not a pass rusher number historically. We could figure something else out. You wouldn't be certainly the first player to switch numbers after the first year. Like 18 has a bigger meaning to, I would argue, to the franchise, not just to Marv, to market Marvin Harrison Jr.
I don't think it's the only path. But at the same time, I've said that before about different things regarding Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, I mean, 18 isn't the only one that's going to sell in the team shop. Like,
for sure.
You're going to find one that's going to be appealing to your entire fan base, and they're going to go in droves to buy it.
Cardi D, $2. Oops, sorry, Bo. I don't know what that's in reference to. You'll have to specify, Cardi. Just taking shots at Bo earlier, maybe. Bully Brock. I'll bully this man here on an OG's Flavoring Friday. We're going to get to the depth charts here, but first I want to remind everybody.
We're finally going to get to Sam Monson. Is he still waiting in the green room?
I don't think it's happening.
Poor guy.
It might.
We just have him on call.
Listen, as much as I want to hear from Sam Monson, I also want to hear from our friends at BetMGM, first bet offer, because it's Friday, which means the Grand Slam Jackpot promotion is live on the BetMGM Sportsbook app. It's live every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through the MLB season, which means you place $10 on a player to hit a home run on those days, any day. And that player not only hits a home run, they hit a grand slam, you're going to win $50K in daily prizes or share that prize with any other winning bettors. Again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you got from now until the end of the baseball season, $10 could win you $50,000 if that player hits a grand slam. And again, it can be Aaron Judge, it can be Giancarlo Stanton, it can be whomever. You can pick any player you want. And those are the odds with our friends at BetMGM.
Probably can't be Giancarlo Stanton because he stinks.
He doesn't think of baseball.
I love BetMGM so much. I'm wearing a BetMGM jersey.
You are. For Jersey Day.
I am.
Love it. Listen, we love BetMGM here. Check them out. The app is elite right now. If you download the app right now or visit them at betmgm.com and you sign up with at least 10 bones and bet it on your first bet, you're going to get $10 back in bonus bets if it loses. So again, double dip here with that Grand Slam jackpot. If your player doesn't hit a home run and you bet $10, you get those $10 back in bonus bets all the way up to $1,500 matched in bonus bets. But you got to use the bonus code PHNX and you got to dabble with our friends at BetMGM. Check out the show notes for full details. Now listen to my guy Shane Diefenbach talk about it in the disclaimer.
Bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Soft, bouncy, sometimes called a good pair. Delicious. What am I talking about?
Is that in the read? You
I'm
keep
talking
saying
about
that.
our friends over at OG's Brands. Get your
Okay.
mind out of the gutter. My God. They're cannabis gummies. That's how you describe them. It's the only way to describe them. They're unbelievable. Check them out right now. Their full product line, ogsbrands.com. Yeah, that's right. They've got the sleep time gummy. They got the fruits. They've got the creams. They've got the orange creamsicle, the RSO. You got the vegan, the naturals. You also have yourself the big gummies, right? The huge ones, the 10 perforated slices. It's unbelievable what they're doing right now. They're produced right here in a great state of Arizona. They got the full breakdown of how they came to be here in Arizona in 2018. They've been flavoring life since then. You can find them in your local dispensaries. Do not miss out on an opportunity to find a cannabis gummy experience that you're going to enjoy. Like, we've all had some bad experiences, right? OG's they're trying to get that negative stigma out of your mind, and they can do it. Just give them a try. Go to ogsbrands.com, check out their full product line, figure out what's going to be best for you, and then go to your local dispensary, and they'll set you up. Also, check them out on your socials at OG's Brands. That's at OG's Brands. Got to be 21 years or older.
Fired up. Everybody in the chat just crushing it. Drop a like here on an OG's Flavoring Fridays. Shooting for over 300 likes here as we inch, excuse me, closer and closer to real tangible football being back. I'm so fired up. It's great to see photos of players on the field. Which players, Bully Brock, will be in the starting lineup for the Arizona Cardinals? We tasked our folks here at PHNX Cardinals. Can we put together the quintessential starting 11 on both sides of the ball? Not just base starters, but also different looks. I'm talking 12, maybe 11 personnel now, Bo, on offense and defense, multiple fronts. Where do you want to start, my friend?
Let's start with actually let's do the offense. I know we were going to flip-flop it, but I'm excited about this. And if we do get to Sam, he's also excited. It seems the league's on notice with the additions that they made on the offensive side of the football. And you mentioned 12 and 11 personnel. We'll start with 11 personnel that the Arizona Cardinals used close to 65% of the time during their snaps last season. Damon, can we see it? Here we go. So we're predicting. You want to just go from the inside out here, Johnny?
Yeah. Let's do that. And again, it's the offensive line that's going to get the most attention. Really, just the left side, right?
Absolutely. When you look at it, we're starting with Jonah Williams right now, who does have experience playing left tackle at the NFL level. He was switched to right tackle after the addition to the Bengals offensive line last year, but has been a guy since he was drafted in the first round out of Alabama that played that left side. It seemed like, he was willing to make the change and did for the season, but maybe did he come over here with the opportunity to return to where he feels like he feels most comfortable playing? And then it would be another kind of veteran on the left side, and Evan Brown in the left guard position. Johnny, it's really probably the biggest competition on this Cardinals offense going forward.
It's great competition. Evan Brown has been a stalwart with Seattle's offensive line, been a good player on a team that's run the football effectively and just really keeping that seat warm for Isaiah Adams. Most of us were done with the Elijah Wilkinson, experiment.
Yeah.
And then he came back and played well the last month of the season. Give him credit. But at the same time, I think he's added as a swing guard to this roster. And I think Evan Brown and Isaiah Adams is the matchup you want to watch here. If Isaiah Adams, who, as much as everybody loves Tip, and we're going to talk about Tip in a second, Isaiah Adams has been getting more headline from football people post-draft saying, like, this is I think Louis Riddick said, this is the offensive interior lineman that's going to hit in this draft that was taken on day 2. Like, is going to be a quintessential starter, second contract, dare I say Pro Bowler. We had his offensive coordinator, Coach Looney, on. So, again, it is right now Evan Brown's job to lose based on his experience. But as we've seen over the course of training camp, Cardinals aren't afraid to play rookies if they are just physically better. So we will go Evan Brown now. Here's what I'll say about Jonah Williams here quickly, Bo. We were told, and we're the only podcast and news outlet that's going against the grain. Everybody's saying Paris is moving to left tackle. Paris is at left tackle. They got to draft a right tackle. Okay, they may do that. Paris might play left tackle. This podcast was prepared to tell you back in January, February, the Cardinals were telling people we need a left tackle. DJ Humphries was not coming back, and they were telling people, they weren't saying tackle, they weren't saying tackle depth. They weren't saying right tackle. They were telling people we need a left tackle. So again, take that for what you will. Maybe they swap him. Jonah Williams has positional flexibility, versatility. His best season when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, he played left tackle. So we're just throwing that out there. So if it's flip-flopped in 2 months, everybody can throw shade at this podcast, but I think there's a 50-50 chance that Jonah Williams plays left tackle.
Here's what here's my approach. If they're going to start, likely if Isaiah Adams makes and pushes to start at left guard, I think they play Jonah Williams to be a veteran kind of experienced left tackle on that side of the offensive line.
Okay.
And then, but if they're going to go with Evan Brown or Elijah Wilkinson, maybe they pop Paris Johnson over there. But just so they don't have so much inexperience on the left side between, I know Paris Johnson played every single snap, but he's going into his second year, to play left tackle and then also have Isaiah Adams in there. So, and Froholt's at center. Will Hernandez is at his usual right guard spot. And then it's pretty easy. It's chalk from there on out, Johnny, until we get into the next personnel package. But it's Kyler at quarterback, James Conner at running back, with Trey Benson as his primary backup. Michael Carter being kind of their third down pass catching back. Trey McBride is your starting tight end in this 11 personnel. And then, Marv at the X and Dortch at the slot, Michael Wilson at the Z.
We're chalking it up, baby. This is the easiest one of all of them to project. And again, it's just the offensive line. I would say question marks. 12 personnel, Bo. That's when things get a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought Elijah Higgins played well last year. He looks really good right now, running around in shorts during team workouts. I mean, he's a big physical presence. He was a 6th rounder out of Stanford for a reason. With that being said, if Tip Reiman was a top 100 pick, he is beating out Elijah Higgins, in my opinion, especially 12 personnel is designed to punch you in the throat. It's designed to put people on their ass. Come in here and be the best blocking tight end in the NFL, Tip, and then Tip's on me. Let's get it going.
Right. I mean, he didn't put up big gaudy numbers at Illinois. Higgy Bear he was good in the passing attack, right?
Yeah.
And he actually put up better numbers than our guy, Michael Wilson at Stanford as a wideout. But, I think when you're looking to dominate the run game, and as his offensive coordinator said, as he said, Coach Lunny, like, control the C gap, that's exactly what you want to do. And you kind of give that the thunder and lightning look to your tight end position, right? In this 12 personnel. And the Cardinals played close to 20% and 12 personnel. They also played a lot of 13 personnel, actually the number one ranked team in 13 personnel in the NFL at 10%, but they're still in 12 more often. So you just add Tip to this one with the extra tight end, and you take Greg Dortch off the field.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, their primary red zone offense. Maybe they do 2 backs at some point with Trey Benson involved, but this is how you move people around in the NFL. This is how you assert yourself. This is how you go north and south. This is the opposite of the Cliff Kingsbury years, 10 personnel east and west. This is north and south football. This is what the Cardinals did. You could argue better than anybody last year in making more with less, running for over 200 yards per game at times during the 2023 season. Marv and Michael Wilson are big play receivers downfield that can high point the football. Same with Trey McBride. Everything else just screams 3 yards and a cloud of dust. Maybe some keepers with K1 off the bootleg. Like it's a unit this year that when you're playing San Francisco, who can be run on, as we saw in the postseason. No Aaron Donald with the LA Rams, and then certainly Seattle was one of the worst run stopping teams last year. That's how the Cardinals are going to win games this year. Yeah. I want to see it opened up. I want big bolstered numbers for K1. But if I'm Kyler Murray, like, that's my favorite formation right there.
Doesn't it get you fired up?
It does.
Just looking at that. Isn't this great? Why did we wait to do this? This is
well, we needed some new players like Marvin, and we had to make sure Tip was signed. We had to make sure Tip was drafted by this team before we could do this.
Once they had Tip officially in the fold, and they were like, "Okay, let's move forward."
Then we started cooking up the depth charts, baby.
That's right. All right, mixing it up.
So the offense, we feel like and we should preface this by saying Elijah Higgins is going to play a lot. Trey Benson's going to play a lot, right? Greg Dortch is still going to play a lot, even if he's not in 12 personnel, and he could start games at some 12 personnel. The offense is much more solidified. It's just minor tweaks, right? The biggest movement we'll see during the year is who's starting at left guard and does Isaiah Adams force his way there. But then for the most part, most of these questions are going to be answered. The defensive side of the ball, with as much as they like to rotate and the amount of new bodies, maybe not household names, but new bodies for Cardinal fans to get to know, is where I think we may have some pushback with the fans.
Maybe a little bit. And then, with 13 personnel, them being in that formation, what would I say, 10% of the time? There's opportunities for Higgy Bear to get back out on the field, right? And
with Marv as your single wideout.
I just think that this team just has an opportunity to be lethal in the red zone. Just with the guys, their versatility, their want and will to block, the physicality that they bring, right? That you're entering a guy that's 6'5", 270 at the tight end position, and you already have the big hog mollies up front. You have Michael Wilson, as you said, and Marvin Harrison Jr. and their ability to go up and just out athlete guys. And then, Connor and then Kyler Murray's running ability. Yeah. I mean, they should continue to trend in the right direction in the red zone.
I mean, James Conner 2 years ago when the Cardinals were 9-0, it was because of his red zone prowess, in particular, 15 rushing touchdowns like that. I know it was under a different regime, but you need that with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray can only do so many QB keeps. He can't Josh Allen you over the goal line. You need a big physical back. Now they have two of them, and they're in good shape.
Absolutely. Do we want to get into the defensive side of the football? What do we want to do here?
Well, let's talk first. Can I tell everybody about our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union? So I mentioned James Conner's money in the red zone. Desert Financial can be money for you and your family as you look to improve your financial acumen. That's because Desert Financial is the official credit union of PHNX Sports, the Venerable household, and the Arizona Cardinals. And again, I got a babysitter coming over tomorrow watching the kiddos. I don't have any cash. I know I can go to Desert Financial at any point because there are a ton of locations here in the East Valley to get my money when I need it. But if I also wanted to go and sit with a representative at one of their locations, I know I could talk to them about checking accounts, savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. It's a one-stop shop to help you, real people, achieve your financial goals and dreams. And again, if you're an Arizona sports fan, there is no better place to do your banking than with our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union. It's the only place you can rep your team spirit every day. I got it in my pocket right now. Represent the Red Sea with the Arizona Cardinal Visa debit card. Again, it's free to show your team spirit. All you got to do, open up a free checking account online. Go to desertfinancial.com/CardinalsBow to get started. Takes a matter of minutes. Debit cards in the mail shortly after the fact. Check them out. Desert Financial Credit Union, the official credit union of PHNX Sports and the Arizona Cardinals.
Once that babysitter shows up, you're on the road. That gas light's on. Pull yourself into that Circle K. We know Johnny's a member of the Inner Circle. So am I. So is Damon, Dawg. We rep Circle K. We're a part of the Inner Circle. It's America's Thirst Shop, and it's their new free membership program. It's been around for a bit. It's not exactly new. And if it's new to you, get in while you can. Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Then it's 3 cents per gallon every day after that. Actually, I'm at 5 cents per gallon because they take care of you in this free membership program. Enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle members like you and I can get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 69 cents. Everybody, let's say it all together now. Nice. There you go. That was poorly done, but I like it. I wouldn't have any other way. It's going on now through September 3rd. What'd you say?
I said, how about that chemistry?
Yeah, it's elite. It's unmatched. Enjoy it. Join the Inner Circle today for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details.
Before we get to the defense, let's get to the super chats here. Cardi D's back, $2. Thank you so much, Cardi D. Smash Mouth. That's what we're excited for with Tip. That's why we're so excited for Tip. Again, right. I like the player. I really like the person from what I'm seeing. Didn't love where he was drafted with the pick. That's it. But listen,
he'll never back down.
He won't back down from me because
you won't back down from.
Well, I'm not here to walk stuff back.
Right.
We're here to be authentic.
I'm with
like,
you.
Just because I've had a week to sit on it and I like the pick more than at the time doesn't mean he needs to become Cardi D, the best blocking tight end in the NFL. And if he does, that's worth it.
Do people want us to fire up the mics, turn on the cameras, Damon Dawg, and just sit back and just be like, that's another good pick from Monti Ossenfort. I like that.
You're not allowed to have opinions, Johnny. You're only allowed to wave your pom-poms and be a fanboy.
This team, since their inception in the early 1900s, has won the Super Bowl every year. I don't know if people know that or not. And so that's how we're going to talk about this team. Is that really what people want? They have no Lombardis. We're trying to hold them to a higher standard while having some fun. I like the tip pick. It's fine. Tips on me.
Bajero, $5 super chat. Thank you, my guy. GOAT draft for wide receivers, and I fear it was a mistake to not add another top 3 or 4 round wideout. Dortch is free agent next year. If he plays well, 2024's Colt as a backup move.
I don't disagree with you. And since I happen to have the 2024 NFL draft 3rd round right in front of me here. Jalen McMillan went about 10 picks after our boy Tip. Jalen McMillan went to Tampa at 92, Bo. Something to watch there. You can clip this.
I would have liked Jalen McMillan.
Oh, fuck yeah, we would have. Are you kidding me? I like Tip Reiman. Do you like him over Blake Corum? Do you like him over Roman Wilson went 2 picks later from Michigan. This is what we're talking about, guys. A little rich, right? It's like when you go to the store and you're checking out and you're like, oh yeah, I like this condiment. And they're like $12. I'm like, that's a little rich, but now I don't have to go walk it all the way back to the condiment section. I'm just going to pay for it now. That's what it felt like drafting a blocking tight end 82.
You're pot committed to the condiment.
I guess I'll get this organic barbecue sauce because I feel like it can do really well on my hot dog. It can do one thing really well for me.
A little Barbie on the hot dog.
That's how I eat my hot dogs. I put barbecue sauce on them.
Wow, we learned something about our guy JV.
That's blasphemous.
Roman,
is wild. little BBQ on the glizz.
All right, let me read you some of the players that were drafted. First of all, here's what we have to do. The Cardinals had 79 before they had Tip at 82. So I'm pulling a heist here. We're going to read off some of these players.
Okay.
Jermaine Burton went 80. Christian Haynes went 81.
This man's from Illinois. It's like the birthplace. It's not is it the actual birthplace?
Craig Morgan he holds the gold standard for what you need to put on a hot dog. Being a Chicago guy.
I like ketchup. I like
somewhere on a sabbatical. I don't know where he is. He's somewhere. He's traveling the world, and he's like, little hot dog spidey sense went off and said, somebody's saying something has a horrible take on a hot dog right now.
I'll put a lot of stuff on my hot dog. I just like barbecue sauce on my hot dog.
Yeah. Okay. I like
people are like borderline offended in the chat. I'm sorry.
I'm offended.
Thank you, Darren saying BBQ is good. It is good. Ketchup, mustard, onions. I love onions on my hot dog. When I'm at a sporting event, I'll get ketchup. That's my go-to. When we were at the combine this year, and I was the only person while we were watching players run, I went up and I got a brat. And I think I asked them if they had barbecue sauce, and they did. And I ate it in front of these guys.
On a brat? Oh, my God.
This just shows you they don't pay attention to me.
Just ruining your poor, sweet brat like that.
Look,
I may or may not have beer shirt.
I put it on my Cheerios every morning. Brian Smith, I'm sorry. Is this team's identity a pass-first team or run-first team? Actually, we say run-first, down-your-throat team. Why another wide receiver in the 3rd? Y'all clearly don't understand what this team is building.
I don't. I don't know anything, Brian.
Look, we understand the Tip, Brian, like what he brings to the team. No doubt about it. A blocking tight end. Absolutely. It fits what the team wants to do offensively. What they want to do, establish the run, be a bully, ground and pound, bulldoze some defenders. But also what Johnny's pointing out, finding a potential future slot receiver. I think it's
about value.
It is about value.
That's all we care about, Brian.
That's all it is.
Brian, could you get a blocking tight end on day 3 of the draft? History says yes. Brian,
Absolutely.
every free agency, is there a blocking tight end to be signed for very little money? 100%. Like, they got Max Williams to come to Arizona once upon a time who had a nice career here for no money. He came here for no
very
money.
clear though what Monti was seeking out there and why he was willing to overspend a pick on Tip.
Tip needs to show an ability to catch the football. Somebody added us today and sent us highlights from the combine saying, can we dispel the fact Tip can't catch the football? Like,
it was the gauntlet, right? He caught the ball in the gauntlet. It was after the gauntlet where I didn't see a whole lot of him reeling in passes.
Listen, we had his offensive coordinator on last week. He said that they could have done a better job getting in the football. Illinois' quarterbacks, and he's not going to say this, were awful last year. So, and then 2 years ago, they had maybe the best rushing game in the Big Ten. I trust Brett Bielema to run the football. So if you're going to take offensive linemen from that university now, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a wasted pick.
Yeah.
But are you going to look back? I guess like when you have 12 draft picks, you can have one be a little bit, it's a splurge to me. It's like, I'm going to take some of the money I was going to use on groceries and I'm going to get, something I don't necessarily need. Or I feel like maybe I need something else more, but I'm going to splurge a little bit for a good time.
Right.
We're allowed to just have opinions on how they should have used draft picks and not.
I mean, that's what the whole exercise is. Doing a draft show, sitting 15 hours. If we're just sitting there, it's like, oh, it's another good pick. I like it.
You're not there.
Here's what I like about it. Nothing else.
We can respectfully disagree with the people who liked the pick and have a conversation about it.
And still root for Tip
Absolutely.
at the end of the day.
Right. It's
We
like,
want him
people
to
are
be
like,
good.
you want him to fail. I've watched this team fail too many times to root against players that come here to want them to fail. Come on now. This team's won 8 games in 2 years. Come on.
Where did I see that in the chat that Tip, he puts defenders' tears on his hot dog? Is that his?
It's Johnny's
it's his haters. It's he tops.
Look at that dog with the wig on.
It's haters from Papa Grizz, 33.
I mean, I'll go as far to say is I would be glad that they drafted Tip. I would want Tip on this team. I just would have preferred Roman Wilson at that pick and then Tip in the
question.
4th round.
If Tip was a 4th round pick or 5th round pick, we would have gone to war for him. We would be like, oh, look.
If he would have been picked if he would have been the first pick of day 3, we would have been like, good pick.
Yeah.
20 picks later, 22 picks later. People are saying, breaking news, Marvin Harrison Jr. has signed his deal with Fanatics. I don't see that. Somebody's going to have to point that out. Are you guys confused?
I think that it's a little confusion here. So
yes, specify, Bo.
Josh Weinfuss put out the story, did some more reporting on what Pat McAfee had reported earlier this week, where the holdup with Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't specifically with the NFL Players Association. It's a snafu he has with Fanatics. And he had mentioned this deal that he was offered at the end of his sophomore year going into his junior year, where it's a 4-year contract, like for like autographs and other things that gives him a seven figures. But he's got an issue with that because he feels like he deserves more, which is right, because he's not a collegiate player any longer. He's a pro. He's going to be one of the top rookies in the league, and he wants to renegotiate it. But what Pat McAfee didn't, I guess, express when he was laying that out is that Harrison signed that deal. So he's under contract. He just wants to renegotiate it.
Absolutely, 100%. And he should. That's what's holding this up right now. We'll see. But somebody's saying Bleacher Report is reporting. So we'll see if one of the big national guys picks it up.
They picked up Josh Weinfuss's article on ESPN.com.
Marvin signed the deal 4 years ago. He did not just sign a new deal with Fanatics. He hasn't signed an NFLPA agreement either. Yeah. So we wait.
Harrison signed before his last season at Ohio State. So after his sophomore season.
Okay.
Is worth more than $1 million for autographs, trading cards, game-worn apparel, and other marketing opportunities per source. However, Harrison is trying to renegotiate that deal for more money and is trying to use the fact that he's not yet signed the group licensing agreement as leverage, that source added.
If I'm Michael Bidwell, I said this on the other day, just start taking notes, man. Get the contract extension ready because it's going to be a bloodbath when Marvin's up for a new deal. If you don't think Marvin Harrison Jr., after he puts up back-to-back 1,200 yards receiving seasons and double-digit tight ends to start his career, is going to hold out. Marv is going to hold out at one point. I'll make a prediction right now on a random Friday show in May of 2024. Marvin's going to hold out 1 year for the Arizona Cardinals because he's going to ball out and he's going to want to get paid. He's about his paper. He's about the team, but I mean, I see Chicago Bears fans saying, "Oh man, we dodged a bullet." Can we just go in on Bears fans for a second?
Okay.
The Bears fans back in January, I was pulling up old tweets today, and there were some NFL rums would post like, "Oh, DJ Moore says he's a huge fan of Marvin Harrison Jr." And there'd be a picture of Marv and DJ Moore and Justin Fields, and people were like, "He's going 1-1 to the Bears." Fast forward, the Pittsburgh Steelers privately, and this was leaked out by, I think, Jalen Moore and their new running back, have discussed the idea of Justin Fields, who netted the Chicago Bears a 6th-round pick, as a kick returner. Excuse me? That was going to be, the Bears were going to pass on Caleb. They were going to take Marvin 1-1 because Justin Fields was going to save them. The cult of Justin Fields. He is now gone for a ham sandwich day 3 pick and is going to be fucking returning kicks potentially in Pittsburgh. You talk about life comes at you fast. We have never been more right on this show when we started in December saying that the Bears, they're over our dead body, would the Chicago Bears ever get Marvin 1-1. I don't think we'll never be more right about that. And how Justin Fields was maybe the most overrated player by his fan base.
To me,
rant over.
The Bears thing, like, and their fans talking about Marvin just screams like main character syndrome. Like, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. No. It's not your problem. Why don't you move on and worry about your own team?
You're so pumped about Roma Dunze. Be pumped about him.
No one's asking if you like, oh, we dodged a bullet with Marvin. Cool, man.
Yeah. Good luck. Best of luck.
You didn't even know who Roma Chicago slappy boy. You didn't even know who Roma Dunze was around Thanksgiving last year. Come on.
Right.
You thought you were watching
Pac-12 after dark?
You know, Sully and the boys on Central Time Zone. We're not watching Washington football.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing, though. In his defense, he's not putting any BBQ on his glizz.
Come on. I'm also drinking my coffee out of a little boy straw today, so I don't get in on my icy white for K1. Let's talk some defensive personnel.
Yeah. There's no way we're getting to Sam Monson. That interview is going to be standing alone this weekend on our YouTube page.
Maybe. Let's do it. Hit me with some. Let me see a 3-man front. Let's see a 3-4 defense right now. We're ready to run through a wall. Hell yeah. Who are these players, Bo?
Let's take a look at our 3-4 base. So you got the 2 defensive end and the nose up there. Carice Tunga up front, just a mammoth of a man, 338 pounds. Darius Robinson, Nick Rollis's new defensive toy. Darius Robinson, they're playing defensive end. And then Justin Jones, newly signed, and obviously can add to that rotation. How about Bilal Nichols? How about you got yourself some Dante Stills, LJ Collier maybe in there, maybe a Roy Lopez. So they finally have some names, some NFL caliber defensive line defenders that they can rotate in and out. And then you get to the outside linebacker, Johnny, as we start to kind of project this. This is, I think, what we would want people to emerge in training camp. And they're both their second year playing the position at the pro level. BJ Ojulari and then Zaven Collins to be your primary pass rushers with the rotation of Dennis Gardeck, Victor Dumakaji, and Xavier Thomas, who they added in the draft.
Yeah, and as people are saying, much better than last year. Joshua should just change his name to mid because he thinks everything is mid. I'll tell you what, Joshua, if this is mid, sign me up because mid is better than whatever they fielded last year, especially in their front 7. Mid means, hey, we're hovering right around 18 to 20. And that if the Cardinals get that, guess what? They're a playoff team. Melton's going to start, make no question about it. Sean Murphy-Bunting came here to start. Mac Wilson, let's see. Chris Barnes had a really nice year at the end of the year last year. Mac Wilson can also play special teams. That position's fluid, I would say, next to Kazir White. The defensive line is not, however, in terms of Justin Jones and Darius Robinson are going to, I think, log health permitting the most snaps of any 2 defensive tackles. Then, like you and I talked about pre-show, Bo, like Tonga is fine. He's a solid nose tackle. He played in Chicago with Justin Jones. They signed him externally. That's why I just think has a better ceiling than Lopez, but I don't know how much of this they'll run. I think they're going to want a lot of depth, or a lot of beef up front on early down. So I don't know if they're going to start games out like this. I think you could see, I don't know. There could be scenarios in which like BJ Ojulari is your only true edge rusher.
I don't know. I mean, I think that this 5-man front here with the 3 on the D line and then your 2 outside backers right there at the pass rush spots. I think that's probably really feel like that's what they ran most of last year. Sometimes they would kick it down to 2. I think Darius Robinson, Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols could be those 2 defensive linemen. And like when you were talking about Tunga over Lopez, I think just Tunga's pure size to play the nose position fits a little bit better. But I think Lopez is going to be in the conversation. And then like the secondary, about the 2 safeties in Baker and Thompson. And then like Melton's in there. I think you also enter the equation Elijah Jones and Keitrell Clark still.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. On first down, when San Francisco and the Rams now with Blake Corum want to run the football, I think I want Nichols on the field. And I would ask, okay, you're not taking Darius Robinson off and you're not taking Justin Jones off. So like, how do you cook up then the best front that you possibly have? And maybe I'm being naive. People are arguing in the chat. Is it a 3-4 base? Is it a 4-3 base? Like, you have the number. What did they run more last year? But I don't even know if we can go off of that because it was based off personnel. It wasn't based off of really what they wanted to run. So we will get a really good idea with a full deck of cards, no pun intended, what Gannon and Rollis intend to do. I don't even know if we ever saw the real Cardinal defense last year.
I think Darius Robinson is like a complete wild card too, where he's like based on, he could either be like that 4-3 edge or a 3-4 edge. So it kind of just depends on the play, I feel like.
For sure.
I just didn't see a whole lot of 4-3. It could be a 4-2-5.
Yeah.
They could do like the 4-man front.
That's a lot more used in the NFL than
Tommy just put that in the chat. We'll give him love. Josh was saying, let me elaborate, JV. The offense is fire, but for me, the defense is missing a game changer superstar. Nobody's going to push back on that. I think your best players defensively that are proven are in the secondary. They do not have a bona fide stud DT edge rusher yet, but give them time. You can't fix every need in one offseason.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement, though, about Darius Robinson. Let's take a look at their 3-4 nickel package because they like to run out that nickel DB who played really well down the stretch in Garrett Williams. Which one is this?
We got a depth one there.
I will say that one thing Damon did point out. Damon, if you want to put the other one back up there, because this was an interesting point that you made. If you look at our little key here, the new additions, a lot of new additions on this defense from your entire defensive front. I mean, and at every level.
That was necessary, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only way you're going to improve is
your 2 starting corners and your entire defensive line is brand new, and people are bitching that you didn't also add an edge rusher. I mean, like, Kazir White, Budda Baker, Jalen Thompson are the only thing that I think people felt good about bringing back this year.
Yeah, let's see that nickel defense now. So this is a 3-4 nickel. You get Garrett Williams on the field, but like you're gonna have, I think you got guys, as Baldy said yesterday, Rabbit. Taylor Demerson is going to vie for playing time. Like all NFL teams are trying to get a third safety on the field. I think Garrett Williams does fit that profile. He's big enough, but like you've got depth in Rabbit and then also Elijah Jones on the outside. They just finally added some depth. Like guys are going to have to emerge. Like for people like Joshua who aren't convinced, like the players are going to have to emerge. They're going to have to, like, from Melton to Jones to some of the guys they brought in last year, like Garrett Williams, they need to pop. And then, of course, you need just way better play up front, which I think they'll get.
I look at this, every graphic, every chart says the same thing to me. Justin Jones needs to be good for this team. Like, they signed him to a 3-year contract. Depending on who you talk to in Chicago, like, people liked him. He had 5 sacks last year, but he was never like a dominant player. He's a solid to good player. Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rollis need to get the best version of Justin Jones for this defense to be formidable. Because I love Darius Robinson. I don't want to put a lot on a rookie again. And I know Dante Steele's different circumstance, 6-rounder, but the Cardinal, like Darius Robinson should be able to come into a room and there be 1 to 2 quality vets around him to help him elevate his game. I don't want everything on the 27th overall pick. Justin Jones needs to perform for this team because what happened last year? LJ Collier made it 2 weeks and was gone, right? The mid defensive line that they had last year, the below average group that they started camp with, was gone by October.
Right.
So can Justin Jones play 17 games, give you 5 to 6 sacks, and be a consistent, starter with a couple game changing plays? That would be a huge development for this team. That's exactly what they need.
Man, I mean, I think he can consistently be there, but as far as getting the production, I think that if you talk to Bears fans, and I know we just mentioned how sometimes delusional they are, but
we talked to our CHGO friends.
Yeah. And they see the $30 million contract and they're kind of like, whoa, you gave Justin Jones $30 million, but like, that's what you do in free agencies. You pay a premium price for not exactly premium talent, but what they were looking for, as you mentioned, like Collier goes down week 1 against Washington, and it just you start to see injuries to Ledbetter. You see injury to Carlos Watkins. You see injuries to across the entire defensive front outside of Dante Stills until the end of the season. And it's just a revolving door where Jones and Bilal Nichols, they haven't missed a game in 2 and 4 years respectively, which is what they need. Because if you get that consistent play from those guys, and then you let Darius Robinson come in his rookie year and play close to 60% of the snaps, he's going to be really productive. He's going to be your ass kicker.
You would love to fast forward to December, January, and Darius Robinson is trending up and is like Paris last year, your best player, peaking at the end of the season that happened to be a first-round pick. The edge class, the DT class next year is fantastic. They're going to dabble in that. They'll look in free agency. They want to be like Philadelphia. We mentioned it, where they just add line of scrimmage players every single April. But they had to also, the base was empty. The cupboard, we had to go get some groceries. You had to go and supplement, right? Yeah. But I do feel like they were more attentive to it than last offseason. I do think, and listen, they were trying to strip this puppy down. They were not aggressive enough last year on the defensive line. And it cost them. I mean, they were not competitive in a lot of games. I think they could have won potentially because they kicked the can down the road. So this defense, to me, if you're not ingratiated with what JG and Ross wanted to do, if you didn't watch the team battle last year, you probably think this defense has some of the worst personnel in the NFL. But then you know what they had to overcome last year and how much they've added, Bo. And you look at the names in this draft class, and it's like, this is just a big bag of tricks, a big bag of toys for Ross and Gannon.
Yeah. I'm looking at they surrendered the second most points in the NFL last year. They gave up 26.8 points per game, and scoring was down, so that was a little bit higher.
I was about to say, it felt like more than that.
Yeah, it did. And they were able to, overcome their shortcomings as far as the defensive personnel.
Yeah.
I think that the points for, and it went up towards the end of last season, obviously with the return of Kyler Murray. I mean, I think that this offense, is it unfair to say that they're going to be at least a touchdown better scoring this year? No. I mean, if they're just
what they averaged last
19
year?
19 and a half.
If they're not in the mid-20s, is a huge failure. It was Dobbs last year. Dobbs and Amari DiMercato for like 4 weeks, respectfully. Trey McBride was out there by himself. Michael Wilson missed some time. Hollywood Brown was never healthy. They wouldn't play Dortch enough. Like Rondell Moore and Dobbs and DiMercato were your batteries some games. We've come a long way. Yes, they will. If they don't score 25 points per game this year, it's an indictment on Drew Petzing. But when a team's bread and butter is running the football, guess what? That travels every week. That travels on the road,
and it helps your defense. It helps your defense
100%
on the sideline.
And unlike Cliff Kingsbury's offense, I think it's drought proof. It's what do you call it? Not bust proof, but whatever. Slump. You get into a position where
slump proof.
Yeah, slump proof. Like it's always going to be there. It's their identity, thankfully.
They do need with this defense and with better defensive line play. And we've said it a couple times this week, but they need BJ Ojulari. They need Zaven Collins to emerge in the pass rush. They do. And they're
not going to be any worse.
Right. So
You just got to assume the guys from last year take a step forward. Some will take bigger steps than others, but I mean, like, what's a realistic season to you for BJ Ojulari?
Like 7.5, 8 sacks. I just don't think. I mean, I think he could approach double digits. Like you would have to be healthy. He'd have to be that guy that was at LSU, that guy that wore 18, that earned it. And I mean, I think they envision that, and also be good in the run game.
If Zaven Collins and BJ Ojulari combined for 15 sacks, is that a good season, in your opinion?
What'd you say? If they combine? Yeah.
Yeah, for 15 sacks, I think so.
You take that.
I think that's pretty realistic. I think they're going to situationally scheme up those guys to have success too.
Mm-hmm.
It's when this team struggled where, can we just get a stop? Can somebody make a play? Can somebody beat a tackle on the edge? That's where it was just like, no, they look slow. We look lost. We don't have the talent and the depth up front. That's where it has to change. Like I trust Gannon and Rollis to be able to scheme up as they did against Houston. Like they put together some of the most mind-boggling effort defensive halves that we've seen despite the personnel. So the best thing for this team, and we'll talk about it over the course of the summer and training camp, they need a below average team to start the year against. We need to be able, like the Commanders last year, that would be a perfect game for build confidence. Kyler's back. The defense, like Tennessee 2 years ago with Cliff, it's like, yeah, let's go and play a team that's undermanned, that maybe has some dysfunction at QB. That's what this team needs. I don't want to see San Francisco or LA week one. Please God, no.
Yeah, let's get a Commanders at home to open up the season. A little home and home to start the seasons.
Jaden Daniels returning to Arizona. Welcome to the NFL. With Cliff and Jaden returning to Arizona.
Patriots, bring the Patriots in. They're one of the home teams.
That'd be tremendous.
If you're going on the road, maybe Charlotte, go to Carolina.
That game might get blacked out nationally. I think the Cardinals and the Panthers are going to be playing in Germany in November. That's my prediction.
November, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I have to get out there in some lederhosen.
Let's do it. Some Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, some beer.
So if we go to Germany and they have good schnitzel there, can I put barbecue sauce on it?
No.
Oh my God, no.
They've got all like the stone ground mustard, and you're gonna be like, do you have any BBQ sauce?
Hey, can I put my Great Value barbecue sauce on this, please?
We'll have to call the authorities, the German police, and get them to arrest Johnny.
I'm not trying to be locked up abroad for my condiment use.
Joshua says he's in Germany. He said, let's link up. Yeah, if it happens, absolutely. Let's do it.
Tribe 7, even $2. We may be mid, but we got dogs, though.
I do. Without barbecue sauce on them.
Drew White, $2. Where's Garrett Williams? At worst, Bo, he's number 3 corner.
This was when we did our base 3-4 that he sent that. He didn't see our nickel.
Yeah, so he's the nickel. He's the slot. And, they'll come out to start games like that. They'll have, the 3 inside corners playing, your 2 safeties and Garrett Williams playing the slot. Jonathan Gannon views that as a starting position. So Garrett Williams is there. I mean, you could say he's the number 3 corner. I think he's got way more value than that.
Richard, $4.99. If Ojulari doesn't get double-digit sacks, I think he gives up 18 to Marvin next year. That would be the worst thing if Marvin changed numbers after his rookie year, because then everybody would have to rebuy his jersey. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think they would have to. There was a couple of things where if you do that as a player, you have to buy up like the remaining jerseys that haven't been sold.
Which for Marv, it would be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marvin with his brand too, like when he picks a number, and that's why we cover it as close as we do, it's going to be ingratiated into his brand, into his aura. He's not just going to punt on it. He's a proven commodity coming into the NFL. Like, why did Buda change his number? Because he started out, he was a 2nd-round pick, he was a special teamer, and then he got into the starting lineup. He started making Pro Bowls. Like, it was a maturation process. Kyler Murray didn't change his number. Kyler Murray was the 1st overall pick, number 1 since day 1. That's what's happened. Larry didn't change his number. So, yeah, I think whatever he picks within hopefully the next week is going to be it. And that's why this is taking a little bit. It's crazy. Numbers gate. I can't get enough of it. I love it so much.
We're in 39 next week at rookie minicamp. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna come on this pod. I'm gonna be physically ill. The number aesthetic's gonna be burnt into my brain. I can't look. It's like looking at the sun. I can't look at it.
Well, we're not doing an emergency pod for Marvin Harrison Jr. Numbergate, right?
I mean, speak for yourself. I mean, I might just go live. A real podcast would, a real fan would.
Yeah.
Somebody who reps a jersey would, I feel like.
That's
somebody
right.
who doesn't. Somebody who reps an old man hat wouldn't do that.
This is not an old man hat. How dare you?
It's
you
nice.
with that grimy, greasy thing on your head right now, and you're taking shots at my hat
right here.
That's disgusting.
This hat's been in the ocean.
You look like a veteran reliever coming into the game who hasn't washed his hat way too long. Yeah, he's Heath Bell in it. It looks like John Papelbon over here.
This is how you know you've lived. You've lived, baby. You can live live with us at Keeping It 100 a week from today. It's where you need to be. And for our diehards, you're going to get 20% off some highlights from last year. So Friday's a big day for PHNX Sports. We got Keeping It 100. We got Marv at minicamp. I mean, it's a great day for athletics here in the Valley, Bo.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that the rookie minicamp isn't until a little bit later that day, so I can attend the Keeping It 100 golf tournament. But the scramble is always elite. Get some free swag, get some great food, great drinks. Just a great day out on the links with everybody out there involved in this tournament. I know DNVR did theirs today. We're doing ours a week from today. 7:30 shotgun start. Still time to get in. If you get the pricing going on, you can save some money if you become a diehard right now. Just go to gophnx.com, and if you become a diehard, you get a free shirt. You can get in on the brand new swag from this podcast, the Cardinals Phoenix Cardinal Rising T-shirt. Let's take a look at this bad boy. There it is. It's the Phoenix Cardinals Rising T. Right now with the beautiful stadium in Glendale in the background with the Arizona flag. It's just a good concoction of all the great things that this team, this state provides us. You can get it right now, phnxlocker.com. Get it for free with your diehard membership. Get that diehard card. Get access to all the premium written content. Get the entrance to the Discord lounge and discounts on all these events.
The Discord lounge, we roast Bell. That's like the main thing that we do in there. So you're gonna want to get a part of that.
Yeah, don't miss out on that. And you get access to all the Beats lounges, right? You get D-backs, you get Suns, you get Coyotes, you get us.
What's going on with the D-backs lately, Damon?
Literally everything, Johnny. They have like tons of injuries. They play like the worst brand of baseball you've ever seen.
I'm sorry, I referenced that like it's your fault. It's not your fault.
What is this? Bully Bo has zero drip. Wait, I look at Johnny swimming in his jersey over there. And you're saying that I got this cool PHNX locker tee on. It fits perfectly.
I mean, you say swimming in his jersey. He actually swam in his hat. Like he said that. He said he swam in his hat in the ocean.
He's out
I'm going on vacation in 3.5 weeks, and I'm going to be outside. I'm going to be on a beach, and this hat's getting, even if you think this is grimy, that you probably won't even be able to make this out a month from now.
I'm the only one with drip on this show.
Oh my God.
I mean, Damon's BetMGM jersey.
Yeah, that's kind of
pretty soft.
Disrespectful.
Let's see that again one more time, Damon, for the folks at home. Did BetMGM give you this?
We got a couple laying around the studio.
It's really nice.
Well, number 4, Greg Dortch action.
That's right. That's not Ron Elmore. That's Greg Dortch.
Betting site that will not be named made a Kyler Short joke the other day. BetMGM is better than that.
They would never.
They would never.
It's nice to see Kyle Brandt come after people who come after K1. Basically, it's like, your jokes aren't funny, and I can't wait for Kyler Murray revenge season. That like speaks for all of us.
How about that Kyle Brandt video with the fan from Mexico? She was just all of us, wasn't she?
We need her around. How do we get her around?
I felt like
her to rile the troops. She's welcome on this show anytime she wants to come on.
Blow Brock jumping in $4.99 super chat. Talk to my boss, PHNX. Saul Goodman. We're gonna reboot the Blow show soon. Somebody in the chat suggests that we make a small tight end shirts on it.
So, Aaron, this show's gone completely off the rails. Aaron Noobs, $1.99. Thanks for the awesome podcast. Fun to listen to. Well, thank you, Aaron Noobs. We have fun doing it, if you can't tell. And this is the best time because hope springs eternal for this team. It's a lot more fun talking about this team. I mean, people are casually ripping the depth chart. You guys remember the horror show that was last year when Colt McCoy was at the top of the offensive depth chart? Like, let's keep. We talk about keeping it 100. We're keeping it fucking real. Go back and watch the video post draft last year. Keeping it real.
Topic 64 always keeps it real. $9.99. Whenever a team wanted to score, they'd throw at the 20 side of the field. 20 is not here anymore. And every player in the secondary is a freaking dog. This season will be so different. Finally. Yeah. When you look at where the Cardinals gave up their most yardage, it was to the outside corners. And who was there? Who was kind of the fixture for 11 games last season? It was number 20, who no longer is wearing a Cardinals uniform. He's the Patriots fans' problem.
I mean, this show last year, we were forced to talk about what can Jonathan Gannon do for Isaiah Simmons and Marco Wilson, and what can they get out of Colt McCoy. Those players legitimately did not make it to week one, and then Marco Wilson was subsequently cut by this team during the season. Like, you tried to make chicken salad with what was left over from Steve Keim. Like, these are players that Gannon and Ossenfort picked. This is Dave Sears' first draft class. Like, these are hand-selected guys, and the guys that left over, give them credit. They have bought in, and they've developed under Jonathan Gannon. So This is their baby now. You saw this team. Nobody was more competitive, in my opinion, outside with the lack of talent than the Arizona Cardinals to end the season. Now they have talent, and they have a fresh start, and they have, most importantly, they have their quarterback. Like, I can't wait for this season. This is the most highly anticipated season since 2021. Easily.
2021, and then before that, 2016, coming off the NFC Championship appearance. Will you read Illa Dre's $1.99 super chat?
Johnny V always keeps it $100.
Is that correct, Damon?
That sounded good to me. I mean, after your disaster performance trying to say stuff like that yesterday, I rewatched it. I was cringing all over again, Bo. It was bad.
Pretty cringe.
I don't even know. That was what you were struggling with, I think.
Ion?
Yeah.
Ion,
no.
I don't even know. I don't.
That man has no drip. No drip. Like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports, the Sam Monson exclusive one-on-one with Bo Brack that we've teased for 4 days. We'll be live on the YouTube this weekend on PHNX Sports. Again, follow PHNX Cardinals on X, Twitter. We are 7 followers away from 11,000 followers. So we're fired up about that. Ahead of our 4th season of coverage here on PHNX Cardinals. Again, no draft this weekend, no 15-hour straight of coverage, but that doesn't mean the party does not stop. Audio only dropping on Monday morning, plus exclusive content from Marv at minicamp for rookies next Friday, Bo. So fired up.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see our guy, Marvin Harrison Jr., in action, catching passes, wearing his Cardinals uni. Also, Darius Robinson hitting some sleds, getting into action with the first portion of the on the field with the coaches of the Arizona Cardinals offseason training activities. So that's exciting. That's a week from today. Have a great weekend. Absolutely. Follow the social channels, as we said. Follow at Damon Dawg, at Johnny Venerable, at Bo Brack, and at PHNX_Cardinals. And some great content coming your way from Brian Baldinger, and the elusive Sam Monson interview should be hitting this YouTube channel tomorrow at PHNX Sports. Johnny's showing off the drip. There it is.
What do you guys think about this right here?
Johnny flexes in his jersey. It's the ultimate flex.
Almost ripped off my body doing that.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.